Rushmore State yellow and blue. South Dakota State will dance once again.
For the first time since their Super Tuesday Summit League Championship doubleheader back in March, the Jackrabbit and Coyote basketball teams square off in the first doubleheader, true doubleheader, between the two teams in 15 years. Though both USD teams are still looking for breakthroughs against SDSU in the Summit Championship games, there's no question that they've dominated the series at the new Sanford Coyote Sports Center, where they're a combined 3-1 against their arch rivals. We start first with the men's game, and in the first half, Cody Kelly going to dish it off, but then get it right back, line up a triple, and knock it on down as USD takes the lead. Bad news if you're a Coyote fan, it'd be their only one. David Jenkins Jr. with the step-back Bobby Jack 3. He scored 6 of his first 14 early to stake State to a 4-point lead. And then one of the only South Dakotans in the rivalry, Clark Willow Lake alum Skylar Flatten, living up to his first name with that facial. He had a team-high 20 points. Jack's out to a 7-point lead. USD needing someone to step up, with leading scorer Trey Birch Manning out with a stress fracture. Stanley Amude will fit that bill. Big dunk for 2 of his game-high 26 points. Now, despite Mike Dahm missing most of the half with foul trouble, SDSU builds a 12-point lead. One of his replacements, the freshman Matt Dentlinger, for 2 of his 8. And the second half was all Jackrabbits, much to the dismay of most of the people inside the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. That's Tevin King from the wing. He had 14. And if you thought Dahm was going to need a big game for the Jacks to win, he didn't. He only had 4 points. That's no problem, because Alex Arians, another freshman, lit him up. He had 19. And State rolls 79-61, showing that they can win when their superstar ain't dominating.
We just know that going into the game, people gonna tune in on Mike. So we just got to be ready. You know, obviously we'd love for Mike to score, be the best player he can be on the court, but he understands as well. So he takes a big sacrifice to just letting us play our game.
Proud of our guys, go on the road anytime, get a win, especially in a rivalry game. Just felt like our guys had great focus. We played the game we needed to play. On the defensive end of the floor, for sure.
We did a really good job on him, not letting him catch it, and if he did catch it, getting it out. But when their players, you know, are standing out there, and you've got to pay a lot of attention to them.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Battle for Summit supremacy in the women's game with the 2-0 Jacks looking to hand the 1-1 Yotes a second straight loss, and this one lived up to the billing. Maya Sellen to Macy Miller in the first, as SDSU's up 5. Dawn Plitzwhite's Coyotes, they get going though. New Mexico transfer Hannah Shervin inside. USD goes up 21-16 after 1. The Coyotes would go up by as many as 11 in the second quarter. Rapid City native Kira Duffy on the baseline with a great move. She scored 28 points to lead USD and actually reached 1,000 for her career. Aaron Johnston's Jacks settle down late in the half. Aberdeen's Peyton Burkhardt off the Madison Giebert feed as State trails 39-37 at the break. And they go ahead in the third. It's Giebert, who wasn't great from 3 like usual, but still effective off the dribble. She had 15 points, 56-51 SDSU after 3. USD surges in the fourth. The pride of Oneida, Chloe Lamb. Got to say, it's fun to call these local kids stepping up. She had 13 points. USD up 3 with 11.5 seconds left. No shock who the Jacks turn to. It's Miller time. Macy had 31. She actually reached 2,000 in her career. First Jackrabbit to ever do that. We're off to overtime, where State appears to be in control. Sanborn Central Woonsocket alum Maya Sellen for 2 of her 19. 7-0 run puts State up 7. USD answers with a 9-2 run. Allison Arns for 3. She had 20. We go to a second overtime, tied at 91, where foul trouble catches up to the Jacks and the Yotes take advantage. Shervin for 2 more of her career-high 23. What a battle and what a win. 105-98 in double overtime.
Electric environment was really what carried us through. So yeah, it's so great to get to play at home again in front of such awesome fans for this big game.
We weren't as tough defensively as we needed to be, and so I thought what really we were trying to focus on in this game was the urgency that we wanted to defend with again. I thought our kids showed a lot of toughness in this game.
They count as 1 in the standings, but they feel different. We talked about that pretty openly with the team before and after. You know, I wish we would have won. I wish we would have won, but we didn't. And so we talked about taking the good with the bad.
Great day in Vermilion. The Minnesota Vikings loss is literally the gain of South Dakota natives Nate Gary and Dallas Goddard. Because Minnesota couldn't clinch a playoff spot last week, their Philadelphia Eagles are in, visiting SDSU alum Brian Witzman. and Bears in Chicago in a game you saw right here on KDLT. Third quarter, Eagles down 6-3. Nick Foles going 10 yards to the Britain Bomber, Goddard. His first career touchdown in the playoffs. He had 2 catches for 20 yards, and the Eagles lead after 3 in the fourth quarter. The Bears go back on top. Mitchell Trubisky, 22 yards to Allen Robinson. It's 15-10. If they don't get the 2-point conversion, that'd be critical later because with less than a minute to go, Foles on 4th down to Golden Tate, 16-15. They don't get the 2 either, so the Bears get into field goal range, have a shot to win for Cody Parkey. Doink, doink, and no good. Yikes, 16-15. Dallas Goedert moving on in the playoffs.
Man, it was incredible. You know, this place was rolling all night. Obviously, you couldn't ask for a closer fist fight till the end. You know, it went down to game missing field goal. You know, it was incredible. I had a blast. Looking forward to next week.
And they will play at New Orleans next week in the other playoff game. The Chargers beat Baltimore 23-17. The Tom Thibodeau era in Minnesota began with high hopes that the former Coach of the Year would bring them back to respectability. 2.5 seasons later, it ends with Minnesota firing their coach and president of basketball operations at midseason. Though they went 97-107, which is actually the second most wins in franchise history for a coach, the Wolves underachieved after acquiring Jimmy Butler prior to last year, barely making the playoffs before a public spat that led to Butler being dealt to Philly. As it stands now, the Wolves are 19-21 and 11th in the West. Assistant Ryan Saunders, the son of late Timberwolves coach and former Skyforce coach Flip Saunders, will reportedly be the interim coach. Minnesota did pick up a victory. They actually let Thibodeau coach today, and they killed the Los Angeles Lakers. Also, we're going to have highlights from the Skyforce's 113-105 victory over the Northern Arizona Suns on our website, KDLT.com, after the show. We're back in one moment.